So section 4, corporate sustainability. There are lots of topics. First, essence and issues. Essence means why corporate sustainability is important and what issues should be covered over there. And there are 11 strategies mentioned in the corporate sustainability, not limited to the only 11 these strategies. There are lots of strategies to make the corporate sustainable. We are just mentioning here some major strategies. And then the important issue is corporate sustainability reporting. And scope means what the periphery of such reports, and later we will focus on the stages. There are 4 stages for reporting, and there are some tools. Here you are seeing 3 tools, GRI, AA1000 and CDP. These 3 are not only tools, there are lots of tools for sustainable reporting. However, we will focus on these 3 tools because these 3 are accepted by most of the experts. So start with the corporate sustainability. As we are discussing, everybody runs after money. Business or corporates, they always seek economic gain to secure their future financial position. And once they are doing this very strongly or very hardly, often they are making some threats to the society. They're making some threats to the society. How? They are disposing the personal data. For example, I said the bdjobs.com issues. If they disclose the personal information of different people that they have through acquiring different people's resumes, they can cause some personal data disposal, which is a threat to the people. It's a crime also, but it may give them a huge money. However, it is not expected at all. And different cyber attacks, different big organizations, they do some spying, cyber spying. They attack on the competitors' website or information through hacking. And if they find anything wrong with them, they expose it in the social media. So these are the threats to the society. Once the businesses are running for the profit or gaining some financial good position, and doing so, they are going to put some pressure on the environment. Because just think about before 30 or 40 years ago, we were not very aware about carbon emission, right? Global warming. But now today, we are very concerned about this because the last month, there was in the Dhaka city or overall the country, it was very hot for a couple of weeks. This is because of changing climate. Why the climate has been changed? Because of the environmental effects. Corporates are pressuring the environment to create money. See the pollutions. These pollutions increasing the emission of carbon, destroying the ozone layer and increasing the global warming. And climate is changing. The Arctic is melting. And discharging the waste, particularly near or in the river, it creating a huge pollution. The life under the water is under huge threat. And in some cases, they are already eliminated. So corporates, when they are doing their business for economic gain, they are putting threats on the society and putting threats to the environment, which is very unexpected. Therefore, corporates are asked for inclusion of environmental and social factors in business activities while they are interacting with their stakeholders. That means to avoid the pressure on environment and threats to the society, they are requested or forced, or they are sometimes compelled to include crucial factors of environment and society and align them with their activities. For example, in their production process, they should reduce their carbon emission, or they should be efficient in their energy management. They should go for solar instead of using electricity or other natural resources. Reviewing and solving the gaps and ambiguities resulted from the business operations. The corporates are identifying the gaps. Which gap? Their economic gain and hampering to the society and environment. There is a gap, so this gap, they have to solve it. They have to ensure that none of their business activities are affecting the environment. They are not hampering or ignoring any social issues. Their strategic orientation should enhance the transparency so that every stakeholder, even the general people, know about their activities and consequence of their activities, how their activities are doing good for us or going against us. So why it is important, corporate sustainability? It solves complex problem with multiple goals. Stick on that. The problem is very complex, no doubt. They are working for profit and hampering the environment and society. So problem is very complex, as well as it is associated with so many goals. And uncertainty result from situational context, ambiguities, and emergencies. Altogether, the situation is becoming worse day by day. But if it goes as it is, we are facing the effect of climate change now. Just think that 20 years ago, our winter was longer. We didn't experience such hot summer that we are experiencing now. So these are because of their corporate activities. So they should play a vital role in developing and implementing different strategies and strategic decision under the governance of the board of management of the organization. So the top of the corporates should be aware of the issues. They are seeing that they are getting profit, true, but at what cost? At the cost of affecting the environment, polluting the environment, destroying the social value. So at the top of the corporates, they should take some strategic decision for good governance and make strategies environment and social friendly.
So I have a question, sir.
Sure.
সাইমultaneously যদি অনেকগুলো গোল থাকে স্যার, আমাদের অ্যাচিভ করাটা স্যার একটু ডিফিকাল্ট হয়ে যাবে না স্যার? মানে
আচ্ছা, অ্যাকচুয়ালি কর্পোরেটস যখন অপারেট করে বা বিজনেস অপারেট করে একটা গোল নিয়ে করে না, তাই না? শুধু প্রফিট মেক করবে প্রফিট মেক করতে গিয়ে তারা অনেক অ্যাক্টিভিটি সেট করে।
জি স্যার।
যে কি লিখতে
স্যার
বলতে
ওইগুলা তো স্যার তাহলে স্যার ভিশনে মিশন হিসেবে স্যার সেট করলেও নাকি?
না, মিশন না, গোল নিয়ে, গোল মিশনের পরে গোল, বা গোল তো গোল টার্গেটস। যেমন আপনার লাইফে চিন্তা করেন, ইউ হ্যাভ মাল্টিপল টার্গেটস, তাই না?
জি স্যার।
বিয়ে করছেন নাকি?
না স্যার।
তাহলে বিয়ে করতে হবে,
জি স্যার।
সংসার করতে হবে,
জি
বাচ্চা
স্যার।
কাচ্চা বড় করতে হবে। লটস অফ টার্গেট ইউ হ্যাভ। কমপ্লেক্স লাইফ এখনো শুরুই হয় নাই, কি বলেন?
জি স্যার।
সো think about the business, they have multiple goals.
ওকে স্যার।
Now, issues of corporate sustainability. What are the issues? Safeguarding the society and environment. First of all, whatever you do, you can make huge profit, no problem, but you have to be careful about the environment. Don't pollute the environment. Don't destroy the social values. Don't make the people machine. In nowadays, we are more machine than human being. Don't do this. Nourishing knowledge management. Why? It will create some innovation. And this innovation will guide you towards sustainability. Regulating environment-friendly innovation. Adding another dimension here, your innovation should be environment-friendly. That is, whatever you are innovating, it is good for the environment. And confirming the long-term investment motivation. If you can make such a condition or such an environment that the investors will oversee your activities and will be satisfied. They are not hampering society, not hampering environment. They are creating or nourishing knowledge and doing some environment-friendly innovation. Then investor will run after you to make long-term investment, which will generate more cash investment, which every organization, every corporate wants. So strategies. So from unsustainable situation to sustainability, there is a transition. In this transition, the corporates should adopt some strategies which will have positive impact to the environment and society. So these strategies: ethical strategy in supply chain, legal and compliance, product differentiation or comparative advantage or trade-offs, resources allocation, innovation, change management, corporate CSR, and diversity and gender. These are different strategies. We are just focusing at a glance. First, ethical responsibilities. In your business, it's your responsibility to develop some values which are well accepted by the organization, and it represents that the organization is a good citizen in the society, good resident in the society. So your ethical values should be get prioritized. And legal and compliance issues. There is no way other than comply with and follow the government rules and legislation. And you have to attempt for prevention and, if possible, eliminate. I'm not saying it is always to eliminate the risks, but if possible, try to eliminate the risks at the workplace to reduce injuries. So these are the legal and compliance strategies. Then comparative advantages and another strategy. This strategy give you the option to be one step ahead from your competitors. It may result from your innovation. When you have some good innovation, you get the advantage, and your innovation, it should be green, and green innovation is actually environmental friendly innovation. This such innovation gives you future sustainability. Another strategy is resource allocation. First of all, you have to identify your key resources. What resources I have? I have lots of resources, but what are the key? It's the human resource, financial or physical. Which one is the key resource? Or which two or which are the key resources? And then allocate these resources for achieving financial and market growth. Change management, which is very essential. Everything is uncertain, but change is certain. Change will be there everywhere, every time. So organization must develop their change management strategies, particularly with the address to the climate changes and customer taste changes. These two things are critical. Why? In the change management, if you don't think about the climate, you will hamper the environment, and customer is such a stakeholder who can vanish or enrich your company overnight. If you don't concentrate on their taste properly, they will refuse to purchase your product. So you should develop your strategies for change management considering these two changes. And another strategy is transparency in supply chain. From where you were purchasing your raw material, what raw material you are purchasing, how you are carrying the raw material. For example, if you carry it through the road, or you can carry it by air, or you can carry it by sea, which is more environment friendly, which reduce more pollution. So you should be transparent in your supply chain management, and you have to reduce the complexity and ensure transparency and adapting reasonable sourcing without impacting environment and society. Product differentiation is short of innovation also. Just accommodating your product in different shape or different size or different qualities. You can minimize the cost. You can add some new feature which give you more market orientation, which give you more social orientation. And another strategy, important strategy, is trade-offs. Trade-offs basically choosing one option from two, but if you choose option A, you are sacrificing option B. You have two options. Which option you will, if you take option one, you are sacrificing option two. For example, you are attending the session now. These 2 or 3 hours you are sacrificing because you can do other things at this time. In the business, balancing between two alternatives by choosing one at the cost of sacrificing another is called trade-offs. And trade-off strategies must be financially viable. Your choosing option A, but option B was more financially beneficial. So you are doing bad. And your choice or strategies should not conflict with social, economical, and environmental sustainability. For example, you are choosing option B, which incurs carbon emission, which incurs improper waste disposal. So you are socially and environmentally not sustainable with the option, that one. So in your trade-off strategy, you should be careful regarding these issues. Innovation. Aiming at economic value, no doubt, innovation is a key weapon, because new things always give the benefit. Once you have good and new product to sell, customer will be attracted to you. This innovation strategy either incremental or radical, but both strategies have to be sustainable. In radical innovation, the risk is high as well as the return is also high. But in incremental innovation, the return is low and the risk is low. So innovation is always risky. If you take more risk, you may earn more. If you take less risk, you may earn less. And another strategy is CSR, or corporate social responsibility, where it is saying that socially responsible to the stakeholders. So what the stakeholders? Customer, supplier, general people, government, employee, everybody relating to your venture. So the business have to be responsible to these people, and they have to ensure environmental protection. That is, you are not doing anything harm to the environment. You are safe to your employees. You have sustainable policies for purchase or sourcing. That means your supply chain is sustainable, conforming sustainable corporate governance. Your overall corporate governance is also sustainable in all parameters. Now the last one, diversity and gender. People come to the business or venture from different background and gender, from different race, religion, etc. So diversity is huge over there. And therefore, all the ventures have to maintain an environment where people from different background and diversity are treated equally, as well as identical opportunities for all genders with proper empowerment. In the last two pictures, you can see equal right and justice. I'm requesting you to focus on this picture where three people are standing. See, there is a huge difference between equal right and justice. We say we want equal right. We say we want justice. But these two things are not same. They have a very, very big difference. In the equal right, you see three people got three tools, but the small one or smallest one cannot see anything over the boundary. But in justice, you see there are three tools also, but the first person have no tools, while the third one have two tools, where everybody can see the game over the boundary clearly. That is justice. So once you are developing strategies for diversity and genders, you should be careful about the issues. Now, corporate sustainability reporting. We know what is reporting? To expose some statement. So business entities have to announce their regular statements describing how they are facing the environmental and societal threats and how they are impacting human and environment. Very simply saying, in the reporting, the business ventures or corporates, they are describing how they are facing the environment and social threat. There are different threats from the society and environment. The organization are facing the threats, and as well as they express how they are impacting human and environment and how they are doing good or bad to the people and environment. Everything is included in that reporting. And in the reports, sustainability reports, organization transmit their accomplishments and influences on an extensive areas of sustainability measures encompassing social, environmental, and governance guidelines. So in the report, the corporates describe what they have accomplished and what are their influences regarding the sustainability matters, social, governmental, as governance, and environmental parameters. Previously, we are saying three things: environmental, social, and economical. But here we are saying another thing, governance, instead of economical. Why is that? Because corporates are running after economic values. So important thing is governance here for sustainability. However, they have lots of accomplishment, what they have achieved over the years, what is their profit, what is their loss, what is their success stories, what example they have set, what influences they have made on the society, on the environment, etc., and how they are doing good and how they are maintaining the sustainability. Everything is included in the report. And the scope or periphery of the report. The report basically limited with the UN's 17 development goals that you have. Based on these 17 goals, different companies are making their reports in different ways because all the companies are not working on the same 17 goals. So their reports are different. The governance guidelines are very, very important to maintain because good governance is very much essential. And what are the stages or steps we should follow? But unfortunately, there are no unique stages for corporate sustainability reporting. And it is not mandatory to adopting similar stages. However, the experts and researchers have summarized 4 stages for sustainability reporting. Not that these are the Bible, this is the Bible, or this is the hard line you have to maintain. First one, define, measure, evaluate, manage, or others are saying first define, then evaluate, then measure, then manage. Everyone is right. Let's see the stages. First is define the performance target with metrics. Okay, why or what, when, who is doing this performance, or who is achieving the target, and you have to develop some metrics for this at this stage. After defining the performance targets with metrics, now the second step is measuring the performance. You are measuring the performance, how much you have achieved, what was target, and what is the real accomplishment. once you measure your performance, you identify the gap. And while measuring, you also consider, is it socially bearable, equitable, environmentally viable, sustainable, or not? Everything you have to measure at this stage. And now, then you have to evaluate the performance against your target. How you rate yourself: poor, fair, good, or great. You are poor, but you are good in sustainable measures. Is it possible? I don't think so. Because in sustainable measure, you are economically failure. So you are not, if you are poor, you are not good in sustainability. But if you are great, but you are very bad in environmental sustainable management, then it's very concerning. It's very, it's a matter of worry. So manage the performance. In your evaluation, if you find anything goes against the sustainability parameter or measures, then correct it. Plan it again, renew it, review it properly, and environmental issues, social issues, and economic issues, you should review it again and develop your new performance targets. So these are the four let's say basic stages. Not that every companies follow the same stages for the reporting. Now, sustainable reporting tools. In short, they are called SRTs. For maintaining transparent actions, addressing both the society and environment. In the tools, social and environmental factors should be emphasized with high importance. It is a combination of different tools used in the reporting corporate sustainability, often referred as SRTs, as I said. And in the picture, you can, okay, on the next slide, you can see there are lots of sustainability reporting tools. CSG, environmental social governance, greenhouse gas measurement, CSRD, Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, GRI, Group, CDP, or SASB, AA1000, TCFD service. There are here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tools are here only. Beside that, there are more and more tools available in the literature, and different companies are using different tools. You can, if you are very closely related with the carbon emission project, then you can follow the CDP guideline. If you are related with the governance, society, and environment, then you can go for ESG format. It depends in which structure you are working. However, after the 2 decades debate, 3 tools are comparatively universally recognized: GRI, Global Reporting Initiative, AA1000, and CDP, or Carbon Disclosure Project. In this presentation, I will just focus on these 3 tools, not the all tools. So what is GRI? Actually, GRI is called a tool but not actually a tool. It is a body. It is an institute. It is an autonomous global body that support business organizations in undertaking the responsibilities for their impacts. So GRI is an institute or an organization, and they are autonomous and global. They help the organizations to undertaking the responsibility for their impact, providing the corporates along with the universal public languages for communicating those impacts as reporting to the stakeholders. That means GRI, what it does, they provide corporates with the universal public language. What is universal public language? Such language is easily understandable by everybody. Why? Because in business term, there are some terminology which are very critical to understand. But in the GRI reporting, they make the language very universal, easily understandable, and easily communicating about the impacts on environment, impacts on society. And through this report, they are informing the stakeholder about the company's activities. GRI also examines environmental impacts resulted from corporate activities from their supply chain. GRI is an autonomous body, as I told earlier. They have the authority to examine your activities. They examine environmental impacts, basically, and from your supply chain. How your supply chain is impacting the environment. If it is very bad to the environment in the report, it will expose your company, or if you're doing good, it will highlight your company. Another tool, AA1000, it is an assurance standard for evaluating and farming the integrity and quality of organizations' economic, environmental, and social reporting. So, unlike GRI, this is not any body. This is a standard, like ISO. It is a standard that express or interpret how you are doing to the economic, social, and environmental reporting. And it clarifies 3 types of accountability: inclusivity, responsiveness, and materiality. Firstly, inclusivity. Inclusivity refers to focus on the importance of putting people first in the development process. So you have, an organization have to include their people first in the development process. This is the first accountability. How they are doing, how much they are including people, and how much they are responsive to the stakeholders. Another accountability. And last accountability is materiality. Materiality means material sustainability. How much material sustainability you are in economic, social, and environment related sustainable planning or strategic planning. These are the concern of AA1000 standard. Now another tool, CDP. Like GRI, CDP also an institute. It is internationally recognized non-profit institution based on several countries and cities across the world, assisting corporates in disclosing their impact on environment. So, like GRI, CDP also work with the environmental factors mainly. Particularly, CDP Carbon Disclosure Project demonstrate transparency and focus indirect carbon emission and 11 updates on carbon reporting. That means if your organization or venture is very much carbon emission related, or you are producing carbon, then this reporting format is good for you. So these are three major tools for corporate sustainability reporting. Beside these three, there are lots of tools there. It's up to you which tool you will choose, which indexing you will select. It depends on your venture activities and patterns. So this is the end of our fourth section. And at this point, I am welcoming you for your questions.